Let's do it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Weeknights. I'm JD, he who pods, rearview mirror, ring light on in the glasses.
And I'm Dash, aka She Who Shimmies, aka
Big Jimmy.
Big Shimmy, aka Dashing D, aka the real king of R&B, aka Cool Grandma, but not really. And this is Weeknights. Welcome, welcome. Welcome one, welcome all. Thanks
What
for
up, y'all?
coming back. Thanks for showing up for the first time.
Wow, you
We
took the words right out
appreciate
of my mouth. Exactly.
What is
Mm,
I mean, we can't really say this, but I know there's a certain someone who says the first timers and the last timers.
That's right.
Purposely said it in a different way. Don't want any problems in the streets.
That's right. That is what they say.
Mhm. Anyway,
All right, let's get to it, man. Listen, Ghostface released Supreme Clientele 2.
yes, he did.
It came out on Friday. When we were recording this, it came out just under a week ago when we were recording this.
Yep.
We heard it. We have thoughts. Let's get to it.
Let's
Now,
get to it.
yesterday, you said you wish you went first. So you can go first.
I knew you were going to do this. I didn't want to go first today.
All right, so I'll go first. I don't care. So I have a lot of thoughts. Number one, I think we got to stop doing continuations of classics. And
Yes.
I probably said this before, but I'm gonna stand on it. I don't want to see the part 2 to the classic.
Agree.
Let the classic just be the classic. If this was called something else, I think people's feedback would be very different. If this
Agree.
was called Mass Appeal Presents Ghostface, I think it'd be fine.
Yes. I
Because
agree with that.
this was just Ghostface having a good time, throwing records together and talking shit. It was
Yes.
cool. It was cool, but it's not classic Supreme Clientele material. Is it Ghostface talking
Agree.
his shit? Absolutely. Is it super fly soul samples on hard beats? Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
But that's all it is. There's not
Yes.
much more to say except it's Ghostface talking shit on some fly ass samples. Because there's not many hooks, which means there's
No.
not really a lot of work here. There's a lot of like, I'm gonna give you fly verses and then just let the sample play. I think there's like 2 hooks on this whole project.
Yeah, and one of
And
them
I'm
I
not
didn't
saying
like.
that. What happened?
And one of them I didn't like. One of the first songs where it's very repetitive. I can't even remember what it's called. I did not
Where
like
he's
it.
just going, nah, 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 nah.
I hated that. I hated that.
Like, what is going on?
I was like, and so just gonna jump in because I feel like this is gonna be better as a conversation anyway. But
Do it.
at that point, when I heard it gets better after that, to me, right? Like after that song, it's like the first, I don't know, 2 or 3 songs. I was like, okay, I'm listening because I'm trying to figure out, what am I listening to? Do I like this? Whatever. To me, it gradually improves over time. It is a mishmash of things, but it does improve over time. Like I think the first part of the album is like a little sketch for me just because I'm like, I'm not really sure where this is going. I don't really know what's happening. And then that na 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 stuff was, I hated that. I hated that so much. I listened to it I listened to the album multiple times, and when it came back on again, I was like, it's still not doing it.
I
Like
don't want to
this,
hear nah, nah, nah.
I don't want to hear this. This is definitely a skip for me because I don't know. And yeah, listen, I am well documented saying that I love Ghostface down. Like I am a big Ghostface fan, so I was really excited about listening to this. I did not listen to it as, just to speak to your first point, and I'm gonna throw it back to you, but just to speak to the fact that it is supposed to be a continuation of Supreme Clientele. I purposely didn't listen to it that way because I went to the Googles and I was like, wait, let me remember when Supreme Clientele came out. And then I was like, no, I'm not listening to this and even touching what came before it because it's been so many years that it's like,
Yeah.
it can't
But the
be the
problem
same or
is,
similar.
he called it Supreme Clientele too.
Agree. I felt like it was laziness, honestly. Could have just been called something
I
else.
kind of feel like that's the project. I feel like there were no hooks, there were not a lot of well thought out concepts, and I think that all does a disservice to the name, to the classic that you put out so many years ago. Because judging this as its own body of work, it's cool. It's not
Yeah.
the best Ghostface project ever. It sounded like he just went in there, threw a bunch of verses on shit, and had fun, which is fine.
Yeah.
Which
A
is
good
fine.
time
I'm
was
not
had.
mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Ghostface has other projects like that, and that's fine. I'm not mad at that. I'm happy we got new Ghostface.
Agree.
Truly. And it sounds good. So as much as I'm criticizing, he's rapping his ass off.
Yes.
He's doing this thing. It's still Ghostface. It don't sound like he tried to become someone else. It is true to the Ghostface brand of rapping characteristics, the type of bars he puts together, the metaphors. It was that kind of Ghostface, absolutely. But this just was not a well thought out body of work. And my biggest criticism, and this really annoyed the hell out of me, I don't need niggas introducing themselves every song. Every song, the legend, the man, Ghostface Killah. Yo, I don't
So
need
many
this every
stars.
song. I know whose album I press play on. I don't need every song for you or someone else to completely introduce yourself like I'm at a WWE event. I didn't need that every
But
song.
that's
That
but that's
was
what the
driving
album
me
was.
insane.
The album was very much, I listen, if this, honestly, they could have called this Ghostface and Friends. That could have been the title of the album. That could have been the title of the album. I don't know if it's that. I don't even think it's that because Ghostface did a lot on his own. But I wonder sometimes when you hear something like this, I wonder if, maybe I shouldn't say sometimes, but I wonder if when you hear something like this, when you come from a group, is it that your mind goes there when you create your solo music sometimes? So, because I feel like a lot of it was very ensemble, which is fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's not a complaint. It's just an observation.
Yeah.
And I was like, there was a lot of like crew tracks, which is okay. I don't, again, don't, I'm not mad at it. But then again, don't call it Supreme Clientele too. Maybe call it Ghostface and Friends or something like that, or something that alludes to like, the crew is back together or whatever. I loved that his son is on it. I thought that was super cool. But I also couldn't figure out who was who.
Yeah.
And that frustrated me because I even went to Genius to try to figure it out, and it wasn't completely labeled because whoever put it on Genius probably didn't know either. Um, but I just got a live alert from the New York Liberty game tonight. Shensia is performing. You know who Shensia is, right? They're doing they're doing they're doing Caribbean night at at the New York Liberty game. Sorry.
Sure.
That just came through and I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, clearly I did not put on my do not disturb tonight.
No, you didn't.
Sorry about that.
Um, Bringing it back to Ghostface, it's fine to me that he had so many people on it because that part, I think that's the one thing that probably is true to Supreme Clientele. I think that is one of the things that was true to Supreme Clientele because a lot
Mhm.
of Wu Tang members were on Supreme Clientele. Um, so I was okay with the ensemble part because that part was the probably the one thing that was reminiscent of Supreme Clientele One. Um,
Mm.
I just feel like this kind of was just Ghostface and his friends having fun. And it
Yes,
probably would have been better. It probably would have been better to call it something like that, because he's done that before, and that's
yeah,
fine. And just for a sidestep for a second, if I may, I appreciate
you
that
may.
although this. Thank you. I appreciate that although this is a Ghostface album. Remember, this is a mass appeal release. And so I appreciate that Mass Appeal and Nas and all of them over there allowed Ghostface to just be Ghostface.
Yes,
Because I could see a world where someone would hear this and be like, all right, Ghostface, let's make some changes. Let's do this, let's do that. And I appreciated it was like, hey, that nigga is an OG, a veteran, and a great MC. Just let him do his thing. And
he
I didn't
really
even think
did that.
about this. Yeah, I didn't even think about this when we heard the Raekwon or the Slick Rick album. Zuh. I just was thinking about the body of work. But on this one, at certain points, I was like, man, if I was there, I totally would have been like, hey, Ghostface, can we have a quick chat, brother? You might want to steer this ship somewhere because this ship is just going wherever the wind blows. And especially with that title, maybe you want to make some changes. I totally could see somebody in the studio doing that. But I love that they did it.
I
I
agree
love
with
that
you.
Nas and Mass Appeal was just like, hey man, let that nigga do his thing.
It did very much feel like let the OG do his thing. There were moments where you didn't say this specifically, and I don't necessarily know that this is the thing that you're talking about. But one of the things that stood out to me was that it was not politically correct at all. And I'm not saying Ghostface should be.
I was
So
gonna say, I don't think we're
please,
expecting that from Ghostface.
we're not, we may not be expecting it, but we do exist in 2025, which is, I mean, even the OGs are having to consider what they say or do because that's just the world we live in.
Mhm.
So, so I thought it was interesting some of the things that were said. I was like, huh, okay, okay. I agree. I agree that he stayed true to who he was and who he's been. I agree that it very much does feel like no one was trying to silence him or um make him be a certain way or talk a certain way, and I thought that was cool. I like that he had fun with it. You could tell that there was I felt like there was a decent mix of like serious versus fun.
Mhm.
Um which I can appreciate because I just feel like also just to go back to existing today, we need fun just as
Absolutely.
much as we need conscious, we need fun.
Mhm.
So I really like that. The trial, kind of jumping around here, but the trial, I liked the trial. I thought that was smart. And I've always liked that. I've always liked when rappers, especially when they get together and they create something together and it feels like it wasn't just a bunch of dudes rapping on a song, but they actually somebody, even if it was just one person, somebody sat down and said, "You know what would be cool?"
Right.
Like I like that sort of thing. I know to some people it might be cheesy, but I like that sort of thing, that kind of call and response sort of thing that they did. I thought that was super cool and talented. Like, I just think it's really creative to do.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I
we
agree. I
definitely got
thought that
Ghostface.
we did. We did get Ghostface. I agree with you. I think the trial and You My Friend are the two best songs on here because they're fully flushed out concepts,
Yeah.
not just niggas rapping. And talk shit tracks are cool, but there's 22 tracks on here. And I know there's a bunch of skits, but there's quite a few tracks on here. I don't
Yeah.
just want to hear niggas talking shit for 20 songs. So I appreciate that there were some fully flushed out concepts and like, all right, let's really have a topic and talk about something, not just talk shit.
Yeah.
And the last thing I will say is, you know, I miss that we didn't. Ghostface is really good at quote unquote girl records, and we didn't get not one on this project. Even the one
You didn't
song
think
where I
so?
kind of thought, I don't think we truly got one because I was gonna say there was one song that it started off like, oh, we about to get a real girl record, and then like half of it was just him talking shit, and then it was like, I'm gonna give you 4 bars a girl record. It was kind of weird. Ghostface is really good at quote unquote girl records. So him not having a real one
Yes.
up here was I kind of missed that. I was like, Ghostface, he literally has a whole project of just girl records, and it's good. So I'm like, what happened, Ghost? You just didn't feel like talking to the ladies this time?
He didn't.
I kind of feel like that was missing here.
Yeah, but I just to echo what we've already said, it seemed like he was just, hanging out with the guys and having fun.
Yeah,
It didn't
yeah,
seem like that was the focus or the concern. And I guess in a way, I think that could be as simple as, well, I am an OG and I'm releasing this album after however long, and I just want to do what I want to do. I'm not really trying to hit the charts, or you know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of times girl records get made because you're trying to expand your base. You're trying to
yeah,
make sure that your music is inclusive. I don't
right.
think that the goal here was to be inclusive.
But that's why I'm saying I think it was exclusive because I think,
Yeah,
and maybe that's not the right way to say it here, but I think he excluded the ladies, which are they're part of Ghostface fan base. Not only is he good at
I
it,
agree.
but ladies like Ghostface. So I
Mhm.
think he did himself a disservice there. And just as a fan, I was like, oh, we didn't get that classic girl record, quote unquote, from
Because
Ghost.
they're great when he does them.
Yeah, he's one. He listen. Everybody can't do them. Ghostface is one of the people who's really good at them.
No,
Yeah,
especially rappers like him. I just feel like a lot of them doesn't. Some have tried and it don't really work for everybody. Everybody doesn't have the
the knack for it.
yes, the panache.
Agreed. All right. Well, let's move to our next topic here. I have a tweet I need to read here, and this is not hardly minding my business. This is not the tweet of the week, but I do need to read this tweet to y'all.
Yep. That reminds me, I
If
gotta
you have,
record Hardly Minding My Business. Lord, okay.
if you have not, you should head over to YouTube and look up "Hardly Minding My Business." There's a lady there named Dashing D. She does some really cool stuff over there. Um, and this is not her show, but we do have to steal one of her moves and read a tweet. This is from Funk Flex himself, the man, the myth, the legend. Funk Flex says this Monday, Labor Day.
The man, the myth, the legend.
The man, the myth, the legend. Funkmaster Flex. Funkmaster Flex tweet says this Monday. By the way, this whole tweet is in caps. The whole tweet. First thing
I
that
think
stood
that's
out
how
to
he
me is the
types, no?
whole tweet is in caps. I don't know how. I have no idea how Funkmaster Flex tweets
I think
or
that's,
types.
I mean, that's how he
I have no
talks.
idea.
So
It is how he
he,
talks.
he talks in a
So yeah,
yell.
you're right. So maybe he was yelling at us. I'm not gonna yell at y'all. But it says this Monday, Labor Day, September 1st, will be. It says with be, actually. It's a typo. He means will be. Will be my last show on Hot 97 at 7 p.m. All things come to an end. End of an era that I enjoyed very much. I super enjoyed it all. I will make the last show a great one. Appreciate everyone who has supported me over the years. And it says, my next move will shock you. I saw. I didn't realize there was another tweet. Sorry, because the shade room put the other tweet like all the way at the bottom of the screen in a little bubble.
Oh,
I was like, "What is that? What's going on? What's that right there?"
well, is it gonna get even harder to get a ticket?
To the Funkmaster Flex show.
Yep. I mean, this is very New York coded, so
Dashing D does not want to pod today, y'all. I just want to
what?
make it really obvious to you. If y'all have not figured it out, Dash does not want to pod today. I'm not saying she said that prior to. No. Let
I
me
did
talk to
not.
the people one time. I'm not
Oh,
saying that Dash said that before we hit record. I just want y'all to know that Dash do not give a fuck about recording today.
what? First of all, don't tell people lies about me. No, I did not say
This
that.
this nigga here, let me tell y'all, this nigga here do not want to record today. She don't have ADHD or nothing. She not just wildly distracted. She does not. She just is completely not here mentally. It's fine. Listen, we all have our
You
days. I just
you
want to
don't
let
tell
y'all know
people what I'm not
Dash do
diagnosed
not
with.
give a fuck today. Tell us what you think about Funk Flex, please, before another song comes on. Or before the New York Liberty give you another live update.
The reason why I said that was because it doesn't matter. Anyway, so okay.
It's the one. It's the one that's gonna take us out of here.
Here's the thing about Funkmaster Flex, right?
Spotify's gonna call us after this episode.
They better. Please, Mr. Spotify man.
Oh, man. Let me schedule my Uber tonight because I know I'm gonna have to Uber tonight because it's not gonna be on time to work tonight.
All right. All right. Funkmaster Flex. I think he's messing with us. I don't. Okay, so I think two things. I think I think either he's going somewhere else. Like I don't think this is his last show ever. People are saying that he sounds like he's retiring. I don't think he's retiring. I don't believe that at all. He's either leaving Hot 97 to go somewhere else, do something else. It could be a podcast. It could be, I think he has a podcast. It could be that, or he's going to another station. I don't think he's just leaving radio, which is what some people think. Um, my other thought was, do him and Hot 97 have beef? Because, and the reason I say this is because I don't understand the timing of this. You don't you don't do a show, any kind of show. You don't do something for that many years and then one day you say, "Okay, 2 days from now, 3 days from now, I'm gone. I'm out of here." That's not how that works. I just don't believe that. I don't believe that someone who leaves that way is leaving on a good note unless it's something else.
Yeah,
So that's my thought. Um, yeah, I believe him, right? Like I believe that he will no longer do this show, but I don't think it means that he's gone and cuz again, his follow-up tweet was my next move will shock you.
right.
That makes me believe is he going over to Power 105? Like
Or Sirius XM or something.
or right. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, because I don't believe this is the retirement rollout.
No,
People are saying Funk Flex is retiring. Now his tweet did not say that, first of all.
it didn't.
So the internet is reactive, and that's fine. The internet also just kind of says whatever dumb shit they think, and that's fine. I know there's a culture for that on Twitter specifically, where we just spew out our thoughts, especially when things are happening in, as the internet says, in real time, quote unquote. But let's put a little thought here. I do not think this is the retirement rollout. I'm pretty sure if and when Funk Flex retires, there's gonna be a rollout. It's not just gonna be a tweet out of nowhere. So I don't believe that. Also, it's clearly not a retirement because the nigga said my next move is gonna shock you. So
Right.
internet, calm
Pay
down,
attention.
ma. Easy, easy, in the words of Cameron. Now,
Sometimes you just gotta pay attention.
I'm gonna be honest. Oh, I totally agree. You gotta pay attention. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I don't give a fuck. And maybe that's gonna shock people, but it's
No.
2025. I don't listen to the radio. In fact, I haven't listened to the radio since, I don't know, 2006. As a person, I haven't owned the radio, in the words of my boy Days the Emperor, since Nixon was president. I can't tell you what plays on the radio because I don't know. The last time I knew what played on the radio is because I worked at a place where the radio was just constantly on at the place. But I haven't actively listened to the radio in eons. And I don't know many people who do. I think today we just cut on the app that we choose to listen to things on, whatever one that is. Apple Music, Spotify, Sirius XM. None of them paid me, so I'm not gonna keep going. But I think today we just cut on that app and that's it. Now maybe people driving around, they put on their local station, the Uber drivers and things, people of that nature, and that's fine. But I don't think people care that Funk Flex is no longer going to be playing at that specific time, which is what he said. Let's just be clear. He did not say I will no longer be on Hot 97. He did not say I will no longer be doing the show. He did not say I'm retiring. He said I'm no longer going to be. This would be my last show at this time. Let me just pull it back up just
You
so we
think
could make sure.
you think he's gonna be on in the morning?
I just think a change is coming and people are overreacting. It says this will be my last show on Hot 97 at 7 p.m. That's all it says. So maybe he's changing times. Maybe he's changing places. Maybe he's going to go on YouTube Live or Twitch or something. I don't know. But one, I don't really care that he's not going to be at Hot 97 at 7 p.m. And two, I don't believe this is retirement. I think the internet is overreacting as they often do. And I think we got to just put our thinking caps on. Matter of fact, let's just put our thinking caps on just for a moment and think about what does this mean? I think that's all we got to do here. You got a cap nearby too? You keep your thinking cap close by too?
It's a few feet away from me. It's a little too far for me to grab without getting up. That's why I was looking around the room, but I can see it. It's just that it's a little far. Yes, because I was gonna join you. I was, but then I realized normally
Join
it
me,
would
ladies
be
and
next to
gentlemen.
me.
Join me. Not Monday at 7 p.m. for my last show. Join me in putting your thinking cap on.
But I agree with you with all of that. I do think that people listen to the radio. I do think it's a lot of people who commute and in their cars and whatnot. They listen to the radio, but I don't think it's the amount of people who listened to the radio 20 years ago, 10 years ago. Absolutely not. But there are people listening. Um, you know, my political connections, require that I say that. So I,
Oh my God. All right, it's time to go. This is.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not of interest to me that people listen to the radio. Anyway, so the point here is, my point is, I agree with you when it comes specifically to Funkmaster Flex. It's not a big deal to me that, like, if he was no longer on the radio, I mean, that's fine. I think it's that big of a deal. I really don't. Even even just the time slot that he's on, like, even if I was a person who listens to the radio more often, I wouldn't be listening to Funkmaster Flex at that time. So maybe this is gonna open some of those doors. Maybe he's gonna be a morning show host. Maybe that's what it is. I don't want to hear Funkmaster Flex yelling in the morning. I gotta be honest. But I feel
I
like
mean,
if Steve
I don't
Harvey
wake
could
up
do
at
a
the time
morning
most people
show,
wake up, so he can shout for me. It's fine. I don't care.
but I also feel like if somebody like Charlemagne, who's like very energetic and like can be super loud when he wants to be, if somebody like Steve Harvey can do a morning show, I think Funkmaster Flex can do a morning show. It may not be my cup of tea, but I think he could pull it off without people being like, I just woke up.
Every pot has a lid, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So good for him. I guess we'll see. We'll find out. We'll find out on Monday, uh, or by the time, whenever. We'll find out over the next few days what the deal is.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go. Thank you for being here. This has been Weeknights. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Shake it to the max. Shake it to the max.
Oh, come on. They didn't pay us for an ad. We out of here. Goodbye.